Good morning, everyone. Welcome. So you can hear me okay, everyone? Great. I'm downstairs, not in my usual place, with the second gen workshop that's going on. So we have some second gen here with us. So good morning, everyone. And just to let you know, and welcome. And we will begin our workshop, or in our case, together, the Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada on this day, which is Saturday, the 3rd of April, or the 22nd day of February in the 9th year of Chongalguk, and it's the 11th day of our 40-day condition. So let's offer a bow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Haru. And we'll recite the family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족 멘트 3. 전위국 우리 가족은 삼사랑을 중시하고 4대 심판권과 3대 왕권과 관조권을 완수할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. And like to ask one of the participants here, Rebecca, to come and do the opening prayer. Yes, I need to see.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Please join me in prayer. Dear beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, thank you so much for this new day in which we can gather together virtually to hear the words of our Reverend Yutaka. I pray that we can really open our hearts to receive these words and guidance, and that we can come closer as an Oceanian community and also towards our true mother. I pray that you can all keep us awake and that we can enjoy this time together. Love you so much. I'd like to offer this in my name, Rebecca, daughter of Ina, and my sister Elizabeth Arju.
Thank you, Ju. So, welcome everyone, and let's give a good welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares Hundok with us.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters, and our second gen group also. So thank you for coming morning devotion and Fundoke today. So yesterday, because of Anshil, our Samoa national leader, Reverend Seti, gave the great message in the morning. And also from yesterday and today in Oceania region, centering on the headquarters in Sydney, now there is a second generation blessing workshop. So participation is almost 40 people together with the parents in Oceania region. And today they are participating this Fundoke together. So I will wish everyone, please pray for their all second generation to receive blessing, inherit heaven's will and tradition, and to go forward for the future generation. I wish all of you to pray for them also. And tomorrow is Sunday. Chulmada is preparing for the Peace Festival, and many religious leaders and leaders preparing some testimony for Chulmada. And there is video, a musical, many kind of great program is going on tomorrow. This will be happen at 10 a.m. Korean time. So about Australia, New Zealand, and some cases already light saving time will be finished. So time, maybe 1 hour will be different. So in Korean 10 a.m. is maybe Sydney, Australia is 11 a.m., right? So 1 hour is different. And the tomorrow Fundoke time will be changed. Australia side same 6 a.m. but some nation maybe have to be adjust. So please check your time well. So from tomorrow time will be changed. So let's start about the contents of True Mother's autobiography, A Mother of Peace. So last part, now the true father finally is getting married. That's why the atmosphere of the church is buzzing and crowded with many members talking and sharing and also worriness. That moment, 1959. So that time, maybe you can imagine 1957, 58, 59, and finally, true father and true mother receive the holy wedding ceremony, 1960. But at the moment in the church, what kind of atmosphere? Please also imagine well. And last session, we could see the true mother's heart. When true father called to true mother, or before true father had called true mother, how was true mother's internal heart? We could see. And true mother is asking heaven, true mother is seeking the heaven's heart, and true mother also started to determine and form her heart and prepared her heart as begotten daughter and also bride of heaven. That time true mother's age was just 16 years old, but just she was waiting for true father's decision. And there is the one impression word from true mother. True mother said, God is the judge, and it is predestined that the only begotten son will marry the only begotten daughter, prepared by God, and that this is in the hands of God. I knew it was Father Moon's mission and duty to recognize the only begotten daughter. So this is mother's mission. We listen many times from father's side to choose the person, but actually heavenly parents, God prepared already. Already begotten daughter was there. That's why for him, for true father, this is his mission. This is his duty to find out the begotten daughter and also true mother among all peoples. So true father finally called to true mother to headquarters. They had the conversation for 9 hours. True father and true mother conversation and checking and talking. And finally, true father declare officially this Hakchahan, Mrs. Hakchahan is the bride and to become the true mother. So now we are having also the second generation workshop here. Second generation matching, blessing is also same. Not finding among, not choosing among the so many peoples. God prepared already the person. How we can get the liberation and find the person is important. So we could see around true father and true mother and all members at that moment, what kind of situation happened. How true father was prepared and how true mother was prepared and how they could meet each other under heavenly parents' guidance. So let's see the next place. 3 years before that, a number of single women believers had put themselves forward as marriage candidates before Father Moon. Several around the age of 30, in particular, had high hopes as Father Moon himself was nearing 40. Even in that circumstance, and having publicly announced the date of the holy wedding, Father Moon had maintained silence He was waiting on heaven to decide who would be his bride. He knew that God is the one to prepare the only begotten daughter. Only God can conform the bride for whom the marriage supper of the Lamb is conducted. God alone knows who is to become the mother of the universe and the mother of peace. So 3 years before, meaning is around 1957. From that moment, already the women, believers, started to insist, I am the one who will become the bride of Father Moon. And many people is talking, 30 years old, 40 years old, because that time True Father's age was 37, 38, 39, that kind of age. That's why all women, 30 years, 40 years, even Father said 70 years, 60 years, those old lady was thinking, I will be the chosen by heaven as the bride of Father Moon. That kind of environment, that kind of situation, just the Father was prepared his heart and he was waiting God's guidance. So those kind of situation was happening. For the salvation of all of humankind and realization of a world of peace, I determined myself and declared before Father Moon that I would rise to the position of true parent. I accepted Father Moon as the only begotten Son for the accomplishment of our Heavenly Parent's will. It was God's call to me to become the heavenly bride and the mother of the universe. I knew that my path would be unimaginably difficult. Yet I pledged I would live for God and absolutely fulfill my mission to save the world. When True Father called to True Mother, at that moment, the True Mother's decision was also needed. Can you imagine that? Father called True Mother as the bride. How about True Mother's heart? Now I was chosen by Father Moon. I was so happy. Or I am so nervous. Or I am so worried. Or I am so satisfied. Do you think mother's feeling is like this? This calling is also sudden by True Father. Father called to True Mother, come to headquarters church. That time, how was True Mother's heart? What surprise! How should I do? Wow! Now I was chosen. Wow, so much excited. Do you think True Mother's heart is only just kind of level as individual? When we see the mother's life course, how about mother's life course? Mother was born in Anju in North Korea under the Japanese occupation and also under the North Korean Communist Party, and Taemonim, True Mother's mother, and also Chowomo grandmother continuously educate and guiding and guided and guided. Now second coming is coming. We have to be ready to welcome second coming and offer the Johnson, offer put our heart and loving heart. And True Mother, Taemonim, and the grandmother was passed through the severe situation under the Communist Party, under the war. And they saw many kind of people who are dying, that kind of the serious situation. That's why even True Mother, even grandmother, even Taemonim received many kind of liberation that time, have to educate True Mother as the begotten daughter, as the God's bride. Those situations, True Mother just accepted and seriously thinking and prayed already for long time from the beginning of her life, communicating with God, communicating with heavenly parents, and receive the guidance from Chowomo grandmother, and also many kind of people surrounding her. So when True Mother think that the bride of the Messiah bride of the Father Moon, this position, when true mother think that, of course, have to become the mother of peace, mother of universe, but in the same time, this position is not just a simple bride position. Also, she knew that she have to go through unimaginable, difficult paths. And there are so many sacrificial way, sacrificial life is waiting for her future. Even she knew those situations. Then she should have made the decision. I should accept or not. Then of course, finally, True Mother also accepted as the begotten daughter, as the mother of peace, and as the mother of universe. That's why we know through Father's decision where he will go as the Messiah, but in the same time, there was through Mother's decision there. She will go as the mother of peace and as the begotten daughter to save the nation, save God, and also pledge for her future. So we can see that I pledged before God and Father Moon, no matter how difficult the path may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. And then I pledged one more time, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill our Heavenly Parents' will. I have defined and lived my life with that commitment. No matter how difficult the past may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. So can you imagine? We can imagine how this determination was serious at the moment. Actually, we listen this word. Do you know that? True Mother mentioned several times this day, last year or last year. True Mother mentioned several times this word. When True Mother received the holy wedding time, True Mother pledged to Heavenly Parents, no matter how difficult the past may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. We listen many times, but at the moment, when I heard that, I didn't catch seriously these things. Maybe True Mother decided that kind of heart, that kind of simple impression, but when I read all Mother's circumstances and her life, and also the moment when True Mother seriously think and determined to accept this role, even same word really could feel the different feeling, how True Mother's determination was deep and serious. No matter how difficult the past may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. And then I pledge one more time, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill our Heavenly Parents' will. The course of human events is often unpredictable. Church members were so astonished when the news spread the Father Moon had chosen Hak Chahan, the 70-year-old nursing student, to be his bride. Some people thought it was a false rumor. Some were taken aback. Some rejected, some rejoiced, others were jealous. I remembered Father Moon's words from 4 years before. You will need to make sacrifice in the future. And I knew that every day was going to be a learning experience concerning what that meant. So when True Father announced to True Mother, this became the big event. And there is many emotion and many people feeling is mixed. Some people doesn't believe that. Some people is rejoice that and also jealous that. When we see True Father's word, also we can see the several situation. So among those difficult situations happen to True Mothers. So let's see that. When my maternal grandmother's ancestors to Jo Han-jun showed sincere loyalty and devotion to his country, he received the revelation, I will send to your lineage the princess of God. In return for my ancestors' devotion, his sacrifice with no desire for recognition, God chose our family to exemplify the tradition of loyalty and filial piety. My mother was born to my grandmother, who had deep piety, and I was born to my mother. I trace God's will to send to the world his only begotten daughter, which has borne fruit through me back to my ancestor Cho Han-jun. So do you remember the Cho Han-jun grandfather of True Mother? He is the one who offered his whole asset and also his whole money and to make the bridge for the nation of Korea and build the bridge. So that time ancestor of Cho Han-jun appeared in his dream and he said, I will send. So this is God. I will send the heaven's bride in your descendants. So we could see grandmother's faith and the mother Taemonim's faith and True Mother's faith and all ancestors' foundation of faith is coming down and Cheonsong, and finally those things will be fruit through True Mother. To fulfill my mission as God's only begotten daughter, I have a firm belief and unflinching will for the sake of every nation, every religion, every race. Going beyond all fallen world boundaries, I am called to reconcile nation and races with benevolence and love. I am called to be like the ocean that accept and absorb the water of the all rivers, big and small alike, embodying our God who is our Heavenly Mother as well as Heavenly Father. I am called to embrace all who are lost and have no one to receive them with the heart of a parent. What is the role of True Mother? What is the role as the begotten daughter? The role is that to embrace all people in the world like the main river, to observe the small rivers and embrace everyone to connect with God and connect with Heavenly Parents as Heavenly Mother. So we can see that. I set these things in my flesh and blood, in my breathing, in my beating heart, and have not for 1 second forgotten the will that God entrusted to me. 60 years have passed since our holy wedding, and my husband is now not with us physically. More than ever, no matter what my age or physical condition may be, my beating heart drives me forward on the path to become the mother of the universe and mother of peace, one in mind, one in body, one in heart, and one in harmony with the one who guides the providence. That's why when True Mother accepted her mission and her role as the mother of peace and also as the True Mother of universe, True Mother's determination is big, and until now, even over 60 years, even True Father passed away, went to the spiritual world, but Mother is going on her way, which she should accomplish, and which she promised, pledge with Heavenly Parents and toward True Father. So I will prepare the short video. So let's watch the video together.
Peaceful place. Thanks to strict education that separated her from the secular world, and after receiving the standard of absolute faith, she was chosen to be Reverend Moon's wife when she was 17, at 4 o'clock on March 1st, 1960 by lunar calendar. They were engaged in the presence of 3 of Reverend Moon's disciples, Young-Fi Kim, Wan-Pil Kim, and Hyo-Won-Yu.
Countless numbers of cranes came from the sky. He waved them away, but they kept coming back, covering True Father.
The Mother of the Universe is the one whose last name is Han, including Mrs. Sun Do-ji and Mr. Do-Uk Song, who were spiritually open. Many have had revelations about the marriage of Reverend Moon and Hak Ja-han. The candidate for his new bride had to be younger than 20 years old. Reverend Moon explained this using the principle: since Eve fell when she was 16, 3 years had to be added as a period of indemnity, making the age 19. People recall that she was physically more mature, which proved further that she was prepared by heaven in every aspect. God's work of sending her to this world with the mission of True Mother is apparent when we just look at her family name, Han. Scholars say there had been a great nation even before the time of Go-Joseon that was ruled by the Han clan, and that this spirit of the Hans has continued down to the current generation of Korean people, who is reflected in the name of the nation, Daehanminguk. This nation called Han predates Go-Joseon by far, and Han is introduced in one of the Chinese history books called Si-kyong. This Han-hu is the oldest ancestor of Korean people to be recorded. This family name of the Hans came into existence long before China. And this name is the first family name of our people, and is the oldest recorded root of our ancestry. The family of Han is also the family to produce the most number of queens, and its position in the history is firm, including Queen Wi-suk, who was the mother of Wan Gon, the first king who founded Koryo. There were 13 queens just in the Chosun dynasty.
한신, 우리 어머니. 여자를 자랑할 수 있는 한신의 문중에 이끌어낸 그 문선생 사모님 한씨 이상 자랑할 여자가 어디 있어?
Yes, thank you. So we can see the video. So really Taemonim was guided by, True Mother was guided by Taemonim strictly, actually. True Mother was 6 years old, 8 years old. Taemonim really guided her strictly, but this is the role and this is the way for True Mother to connect with heavenly parents, God directly. That's why Taemonim, as the mother, Taemonim role is not educating True Mother. Parents' role, Taemonim's role is prepare for True Mother to connect to heavenly parents directly. This is actually the parents' role of blessed family also same. When you guide the children, second generation, parents prepare the environment to connect to God, connect to parents, and connect to God's word to guide and educate our second generation. So Taemonim also show the way how really guide. And 17 years old to mother was decided to get married together with True Father, and many kind of liberation was happened to several members that time. The clan was coming down, and also receive the bride should be under 20 years old. So that time True Father was 40 years old, True Mother was 17 years old. No member, no people in the group think True Mother will be chosen, but they receive the liberation, and there is God's wish and God's will is there. And Han clan, the family name Han, this is actually the first clan, family, first tribe in Korea. That's why we can see in Korean, actually when we see that the nation of Korea in Korean language is Hanguk. You know Hanguk? Hanguk Han. Hanguk Han is same word of Trumada's family name Han. That's why how much this Han family is historical family we could see. So today we share about the Trumada's heart and also the determination at the moment when Trumada was determined, and Father also called Trumada, and also heaven also called Trumada to announce officially to the all peoples. Even there are many kind of serious or challenging to Trumada, and she could see also all challenging or sacrifice will become to Trumada's life. But already when Trumada was 17 years old, Trumada already determined her life and determined her future as begotten daughter and the role of the mother of peace and mother of universe. So now we are reading about the Trumada's autobiography. So if you read Trumada's autobiography simply, then you could not catch those really detailed heart. But if you read one by one again, how about this time Trumada's heart? How about this time through Father's heart and Heavenly Parents' heart? If you find and if you read with these kind of a seeking heart, then we can realize deep Trumada's heart and even deep our Heavenly Parents' heart toward us. What kind of things Heavenly Parents want us to realize and also determine. That's why if you didn't read the Mother Moon's autobiography, please read more, read again, and of course, please join the Morning Fundoke together. Then you can learn this True Mother's Life course once again. So anyway, today, thank you everyone to join today's morning devotion, and thank you for our second gen group to joining our workshop. Let's prepare ourselves to offer the happiness and the grateful to our heavenly parents and true parents. Let's have a great day. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Ryutaka. Go review. Yes. So thank you, Reverend Yutaka. As always, it really inspires us and brings many things to think about and reflect. And as you were speaking, I was thinking over again the pledge, the family pledge that we had just said, number 3. And Father said, that it is the foundation of our movement, just that family pledge. And I was reflecting on it, and I saw the numbers 4, 3, 2, 1 in it, because of the 4 great realms of heart, the three great kingship being 3, and the royal family being 2, and our one heavenly parent, God, being part of it all. And when you're talking about the Han family, it occurred to me that Mother was not only part of the royal family of heaven, but she was also part of the royal family that created Korea. So she was both part of the physical and the spiritual realm at the same time. And I started to realize, wow, I never understood the depth of our true mother and how much God has prepared to bring her here for us. And even Father had to recognize, Mother was called, Father had to recognize and say, yes, that's correct. And I reflected on my own life of faith, and I was thinking, we also have to be very, very careful, and that's why Father was very, very careful in making sure that mother was the one that God had called and not be deceived. Because I had an experience when I was young, and I mentioned some of them, about I was going to be blessed to an Asian in the future. And when I was actually, the very, very first time God told me not to worry about my spouse was when I was 9 years old, and that was mapped out for me. And so I was never worried, and I knew that God would choose. And Satan knows everything and tries to spoil, and has been doing that in the providence of history, extending it by spoiling God's plan. And I had an encounter with this a girl that had been told by God that she would meet her spouse. And I realized, said, oh yeah, I was told by God that I would meet my spouse. And this was 1 year before joining the movement. And up until that time, I had very pure thoughts. But when I met this someone who said, I've been told by God, and then I said, I was sort of jumped to a conclusion, oh, it must be us. And then I realized later that that was a mistake. And I regret that encounter and relationship. But then I reflected, wow, Father was really taking time, and Mother was not insisting, unlike many others who were insisting, God chose me. She didn't say it. After she mentioned, and after Father finally recognized that, yes, this is the one that God chose, that we had this. So I think in our own experiences, we always have to weigh up, is God really calling us, and this really is the path, or are we being tricked by Satan? So we've got to always be careful. And looking and reading mothers and fathers' words, I could see over and over again how they were really aligned with God, and how God truly guided them to find each other. So thank you very much, and I'd like to open up to anyone else who has a reflection or comment and wants to share. Yes, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you yesterday, such service yesterday. Yesterday, I think we celebrate Easter, and I think we exchanged the Easter message together. Then I really reflect yesterday Jesus' crucifixion and his amazing resurrection. After crucifixion, Jesus appeared and 3 days. I was always, how can do it if I am killed? And I cannot. Maybe I'll hate people. And his amazing resurrection appeared to Jesus, to disciple. Then someone believed, and someone could not believe the struggle. But later on, most of the disciples believed in fire, then caused, made Pentecost and spread. But I think most of the disciple was single, no family, and most people had a mother. It is incredible, but also resurrection true, and also the spiritual salvation true. But it took many years, 100 years, 300 years, many years. If that is the truth, but it took such many years to become it worldwide, and all incredible Christian sacrifice, but also it's really focusing yes, Jesus' cause. I think he's one of God's son, and but we know after Christianity, it's come to New Testament or Complete Testament age. It's an age of family salvation, age of family salvation, from individual salvation to family salvation. So, but we are really truly focusing, Father's side, and we are really connected to Father very strongly, many ways, and so this is really to God created Adam Eve, give a blessing. That's why all this is realized to create family. That's why father's contribution and also mother's contribution. We understand both deeply. So I think that's why mother was behind the father, even mother going to publish autobiography. Then some people said, really wonder, but it is incredible God providence, and we can learn, I think, with this husband and wife and Adam and Eve, really it's working together, then building a God kingdom. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I also saw Tsuniko next, if you like to.
I just studied about how to the royal family bride, and if, for example, Japan royal family, in order to find wife of emperor or something, choose maybe dozen people, girl, right? Then most of girl, if they called by royal family, most of run away because they knew such a big task and no one can fulfill that kind of mission. Therefore, one by one, just marry, and then they don't want it to anything to do with royal family. That is a situation, and I don't know how the country is, but that is big task. Most of girl doesn't want it, and as bride of royal family, and but that's why to the mother's situation is such a difficult situation, but accept it. That is also the family, three generation, and also grandfather's situation. And also I have, because of difficulty in the royal family is, also, I think mother has also innovation to difficulty. There is no the difficulty, but have to overcome it by faith, and also new idea to put into the family. That's also another realization myself too. To the mother's way doing it, of course, faith, but things have to change too, if not working well. That's, yeah, thank you that much.
Yeah, thank you, Tsuniko. Yes, who else would like to? I usually have 2 pages, but usually these are not on. Is anyone here like to say something? Daniela, go ahead. Mrs. Daniela Yamada. Did you? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Reverend Yutaka. Every morning, thank you, everyone, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I just feel very how important it is to our life is very much the physical world and our mind and spirit. So we not only have to live in the physical world, but obviously we have to be trained to and grow spiritually. So throughout reading True Mother's memoir, it's so it comes out in details and so clearly how you know the preparation, her spiritual life, her soul has been growing like step by step, and embodying. Of course, she has a lineage as well, and she has the mother and grandmother. But if we realize the importance of our spiritual life, then it's really something we have to do like every day, even though we have so many physical things to do. But it's so important to really feel this is our most precious thing in life, in everyday life. What we need to achieve is truly our internal growth. Our spirit is like, it's so clear. It's like we need food, we need water. So our spirit, to really nurture our relationship with our Heavenly Parent and to make that real, it's like you have to have that thirst and that desire every day without myself really feeling that and wanting, desiring that. It's very like you need to really search. The outside world does not give you that kind of, education or stimulation, or we have to create ourselves every day, even in our family, but it doesn't matter now these days. It's like because of our true parents, because of history, because True Mother is here with us, we can, it's like that connection can become, so much quicker because of all the conditions and the restoration has been made. So the connection, personal connection to our Heavenly Parent and to true parents is something that if I really put my heart, I can shorten that, it's not so it's just our mind shift, really. If I really believe that this is possible, this is my destiny, this is my gift. The Heavenly Parent is giving us that gift, then that connection is very possible and very real. So I felt yesterday, obviously, was Good Friday, so the day Jesus was crucified. And I have had a personal relationship with Jesus since I was a little girl because of my parents. My parents, we would pray every day. We would do rosary every day. We would pray. And my father had this incredible love for Jesus. So for me, Jesus was real. And I felt always a deep pain in my heart. I used to cry a lot when I was a little girl, because we used to go to church every Sunday. We used to take a communion when I was able to reach certain age. So we would have the communion. And it's like you're receiving the body of Christ, this body and his blood. I used to go and sit back in a church, and I just used to cry and cry. I felt so much pain. Why can they kill the person that is the most amazing, that has the most amazing love? And I felt it throughout all my life. I felt True Father carry that, that mission of bringing this love to this earth. I always felt deeply that pain. I could not speak about Jesus. I would always just cry. But yesterday I felt, I really felt his heart is being healed. I feel, now I even want to cry now. But I feel his pain has been released. It's not so, still is obviously a little bit, but it's not so deep anymore. His pain has been, this is True Father's pain as well. It's being washed away. And it's our responsibility to really bring this joy and create, start creating that from that place of we're going to be unified. We're going to create this unity with each other. We're going to overcome the barriers no matter what. So, yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aju. So true. Thank you, Daniela. Okay, Roa, I see your hand up. Go ahead, Roa.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have good video, so like this. So what I'll do, I'll just read what I really like. For the salvation of all humanity and realization of the world of peace, I determined myself and declared before Father Moon, I would rise to the position of the true parent. I accepted Father Moon as the only begotten Son for the accomplishment of our Heavenly Parents' will. It was God's call to me to become the Heavenly Bride and the Mother of the Universe. I knew that path would be unimaginably difficult, yet I pledged I would live for God and absolutely fulfill my mission to save the world. I pledged before God and Father Moon, no matter how difficult the path may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. And then I pledge one more time, I'll do whatever it takes to fulfill my Heavenly Parents' will. I have defined and lived my life with that commitment. So, yeah, I just, upon listening to this, I just feel how really great True Mother is and how she gave this kind of commitment at the age of 17. So I just felt like, also when I joined the church, like I received that True Parents is the Messiah at the age of 16. I have just felt that it was so big, it was so heavy, it was serious. But then again, I just commit myself to like a heavenly parent and True Parents, to studying, to learning many things. And the same as for the blessing, let's say, I was so amazed how these families, oh, they're not choosing their own spouse. I'm thinking like, somebody choosing for them, somebody matching them. It's so big deal because many people, they truly wanna get married to somebody they really love. We call it love marriage. So how to say, I was so amazed, and from then on, I really hope I can receive the blessing from Heavenly Parent and True Parents. And so I just realized in our life, we always have to make commitment and we have to be true to it. We have to do it even though we think it's difficult. So I just cried because I can feel Mother's heart at this time. I was so amazed by her love, her dedication at the age of 17, and until now, she's very true to it. So how can she be so consistent like this? And up to now, even to Father already in spirit, well, she's also working so hard. So I just felt human beings can be like this as well. So if True Mother can do, then I can do also something like this. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Roa. So now it's that time to do our unison prayer, and just give me a moment while I bring it up. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And just before you go, we are having the workshop here in Sydney, and there is a link, and it is open to parents, and there are some parents that have been coming in. If you have some time today and you want to listen in on who's today is actually Ken and Janine offering some lectures, so you can hear how they present and what everyone's learning. So I'll make the link available on Australian announcements, and if you join in, starts in from 9:30. Yep, 9:15. Did you? Yeah. Okay. So more than welcome. So enjoy your day and see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Send the link, Uncle John.
Bye. See you all. Okay.